I am Jing and I am an undergraduate double major at the University of Texas, majoring in honors biology and the Plan 2 honors program. I am currently conducting research across 2 labs, investigating plastic degrading microbes and microplastic retention in fish. I am also a current True Blue Fellow and alumni grant recipient at Balseat, and have also written and published a children's picture book called Can You See Me? For this project, I would essentially conduct my research. Balseat gave me some funding allocated for that, and that project has been exposing Western mosquito fish to microplastics and seeing how long those plastics are retained in different organs in the mosquito fish to essentially find out how these plastics can affect fish. Because it's like if you're holding your hand over a fire, you'll hurt yourself, but it matters how long you're holding your hand there. Same with microplastics. And the other part of my project was to create a bunch of microplastic-based artworks. The plastics that I work with in my lab are fluorescent, so they're actually very pretty when they're under UV light. So what I would do is create a novel microplastic-based paint that would fluoresce under UV light, and I would paint with that in the dark under UV light. And so far I've created 2 paintings, one notably a sea turtle ingesting microplastics. And this was to raise awareness for ocean advocacy, and this is what I'm going to continue expanding on in the coming year. And then the last feature of my project was actually the development of a microplastic winding device that's used for researchers while they're creating standardized microplastics for exposure studies like the one that I am doing. The biggest success was probably when I fully completed the constructions of the microfiber winding device. What was so interesting about this part of the project was that I was actually learning 3D printing for the construction of that device. So the whole project from start to finish was me learning new things. And when I finally put all the parts together that I designed and I would rotate the lever, the pieces would actually lock together. They were all talking to each other, and I had a working device, which I actually used for my project and can also use for creating plastics for arts. The biggest challenge was probably during the research phase, and that's because I actually had to change the fish species that I was working with 4 separate times. One moment I was going to work with goldfish, another moment I was going to work with what's called a sailfin molly. They have these huge sailfins on their back that are really pretty, but just completely different fish from the Western mosquito fish. So each one of these fish had to have microplastic concentrations specifically tailored to it. So that was probably the biggest hurdle, but now I'm pretty much finished with the mosquito fish project, so I'm really excited about that. Now is where I start expanding the art section of the project specifically. Most of the research has already been done, so I'm hoping to put a lot more effort into making more paintings out of microplastic-based paint. And this could be different colors, this could be different kinds of microplastics. I used microfibers last time, and now I could use microspheres or filaments or just all these different kinds. As well as just different painting tools. I could paint on different surfaces and different compositions. There's so many different ways I could go with this. Just hoping to use these paintings to really show people what microplastics look like. Well, I grew up in Austin, Texas, which is pretty far inland in Texas, and of course I didn't know much about the ocean when I was little, but then I would read a bunch of children's picture books, notably the collage-based picture books of Steve Jenkins. I remember reading this book called Down, Down, Down that he made, where it just takes you down to the lower levels of the ocean and shows you the scientific names and everything of all these species. And even in the middle of Texas, I was just like, that is so cool. And I want to do something like that when I grow up. I want to learn about these animals. So that passion has just continued